What's the best advice you've ever received about love?
Best advice would probably be make sure you have a third party.
What happens when two megastars from completely different worlds try to make love work? Gwen Stefani, a pop queen, and Blake Shelton, a country icon, have been through a whirlwind of public scrutiny. And it's not just the spotlight that's been challenging. With rumors swirling and tensions rising, can their relationship survive the clash of cultures and the weight of fame? Stick around, because the real story behind their marriage struggles might surprise you. Since 2015, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton have been one of Hollywood's most talked about couples. Their love story seemed like the ultimate fairy tale, a pop superstar and a country music king finding happiness together. From their first public appearance on The Voice to their 2021 wedding, fans watched them fall in love in real time. But recently, things have changed. The couple has noticeably kept a low profile, skipping out on key industry events and sparking rumors of a potential breakup. With the world watching, questions have started to arise. Is the spark still there, or have they reached a breaking point? Behind the glitz and glam of Hollywood, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton's marriage has faced a much deeper issue, a cultural clash that's been causing friction behind closed doors. Blake, rooted in the laid-back, rustic charm of his Oklahoma ranch life, has always embraced the simple pleasures of country living. His world is filled with wide-open spaces, family traditions, and a slower pace of life. Gwen, on the other hand, has built her empire in the fast-paced, high-energy world of pop music and Southern California fashion. Her life is marked by designer clothes, extravagant events, and constant public attention. At first, it seemed like their differences were complementary, Blake's grounded nature balancing Gwen's high-octane personality. But over time, that very contrast began to cause tension. Gwen's life in the limelight clashes with Blake's preference for privacy and simplicity. Gwen's commitment to her career, constant travel, and her need for a glamorous lifestyle weren't always in sync with Blake's more rural, homebound needs. It's a dynamic that, while fascinating, isn't always sustainable, especially when the pressure of maintaining both public and private personas becomes overwhelming. The couple's contrasting worlds have created a strain that even their inner circle couldn't ignore. People close to them have quietly expressed concerns about whether this relationship could last, with sources revealing that they've had some very tough conversations behind the scenes. And it's not just about lifestyle choices, it's about the emotional toll of constantly balancing two lives that are so different at their core. In a world where high-profile couples often hide their struggles behind a carefully crafted facade, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton made a rare and honest decision. They sought help. The pressure of their different worlds, the constant public eye, and the stress of maintaining their individual careers had started to take a toll. Instead of letting things fester in silence, they chose to confront their issues head-on. It's not easy for anyone, let alone two superstars, to admit that their marriage is struggling. The expectation is that people like Gwen and Blake, with their fairy tale romance, should have it all together. But that couldn't have been further from the truth. Behind the smiles and the PDA, they were facing real, human challenges. The realization that they couldn't fix it alone led them to make a crucial choice. They would get help, even if that meant stepping away from the public eye for a while. Sources revealed that they started therapy, seeking outside guidance to help them bridge the gap that had slowly grown between them. And it wasn't just about learning to communicate better or handling stress, it was about understanding and respecting each other's worlds. For Blake, it was about recognizing the intensity of Gwen's career and how much it defined her. For Gwen, it was about understanding the need for simplicity and privacy in Blake's life, something that she hadn't fully grasped before. Their therapy sessions helped them tackle the emotional distance that had crept into their relationship. But beyond that, it allowed them to dig deeper into their individual needs, fears, and desires, things that weren't just about their marriage, but about themselves as individuals. They realized that it wasn't enough to just love each other. They needed to grow and evolve together, not as two separate people, but as a team. It wasn't a quick fix, and it wasn't easy. The road to healing was long and full of difficult conversations, but it was a decision that showed their commitment to each other. They didn't just want to keep up appearances for the fans. They wanted to fight for something real, something deeper than the superficial image that people had of their relationship. By seeking help, Gwen and Blake set a new standard for vulnerability in Hollywood. It wasn't about pretending everything was fine. It was about acknowledging the tough times, seeking solutions, and showing that love isn't always effortless. Sometimes, love takes hard work. It requires putting in the effort to understand each other, especially when life throws challenges your way. For the couple, this wasn't about making a grand gesture for the cameras. It was about rebuilding a foundation of trust, understanding, and communication. And most importantly, it was about recognizing that no one is perfect, and that's okay. What mattered was that they were both willing to do the work, even if it meant facing uncomfortable truths and making tough changes. In the midst of mounting rumors and media speculation, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton found themselves at a crossroads, not just in their private lives, but in how they presented their relationship to the world. The tabloids had already been stirring up drama, questioning whether their love was on the rocks. But instead of letting the rumors control their narrative, Gwen and Blake decided to take matters into their own hands with a powerful public gesture. Thanksgiving 2025 became a pivotal moment for the couple. Gwen posted a simple yet meaningful photo on her Instagram, Blake kissing her on the cheek, a moment of affection that felt deeply personal but also aimed squarely at their fans. The photo wasn't just a cute holiday snapshot. It was a statement. It was their way of telling the world, we're still in this together. This move wasn't just about silencing the gossip. It was a way for Gwen and Blake to remind everyone, including themselves, that they were committed to their marriage, despite the challenges they had faced. It was a moment of reassurance not only for their fans, but for each other. In a world where public figures are constantly scrutinized, showing vulnerability can be a powerful tool. And by sharing such an intimate moment, Gwen and Blake were demonstrating that love, though complicated, is worth fighting for. But the Thanksgiving photo wasn't the only gesture of reassurance. Over the following months, the couple continued to share moments that spoke to their renewed commitment. Whether it was small, seemingly insignificant pictures or subtle references in interviews, they kept showing up for each other, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. Their actions proved that, despite the rough patches, they weren't ready to give up on the life they were building together. As the years have passed, one thing has become undeniably clear. Blake Shelton has become a stabilizing force in Gwen Stefani's life. For someone who's navigated the high-speed world of pop music, the intense spotlight of fame, and personal heartbreaks, Blake has been a constant source of calm and balance. For Gwen, Blake isn't just her husband, he's the anchor she didn't know she needed. After her painful divorce from Gavin Rossdale in 2015, Gwen was left to rebuild not just her career, but her personal life. Enter Blake Shelton, the man who, in many ways, provided the stability and security that she had been missing. Their connection was instant, and for Gwen, Blake represented a new chapter, one where she could heal and rediscover herself. But it was more than just finding love again. It was about building a new family dynamic, something grounded and real, far from the chaos of her past relationships. Blake, too, found something valuable in his relationship with Gwen. Despite his success as a country music star, his life had always been about simplicity and staying true to his roots. When he met Gwen, he was immediately drawn to her energy, her passion, and her determination. But as their relationship grew, he found a deeper appreciation for her strength. Gwen isn't just a pop star. She's a hard-working mother, a passionate entrepreneur, and a fierce protector of her family. Her ability to balance her career and personal life, despite the ups and downs, left Blake in awe. Together, they became more than just a couple. They became a team. They worked hard to blend their two very different worlds into something cohesive, something that would allow them both to thrive. For Blake, the calming presence of Gwen's love helped him navigate the public scrutiny that often comes with being in the spotlight. For Gwen, Blake's grounding energy offered her a sense of peace, something that had been missing in her life before. Blake's unwavering support also gave Gwen the confidence to embrace her role as a mother. With 3 children of her own and Blake now part of their lives, the couple created a family unit that was filled with love, respect, and mutual care. Blake has become a loving stepfather to Gwen's children, showing them the same care and protection he offers Gwen. The children, too, have flourished in the warmth of this blended family, and Blake's relationship with them has only strengthened the bond between him and Gwen. But it's not just about the family, it's about the everyday moments that reinforce their relationship. Whether it's their quiet time at home, sharing a meal together, or making small decisions as a couple, Blake and Gwen have learned the importance of supporting each other through the highs and lows. Their connection isn't just built on public appearances and grand gestures. It's also about the quiet, simple moments where they can just be themselves. As Gwen and Blake continue to face life's challenges, the stability Blake provides has become even more crucial. With the pressures of their careers and the outside world constantly demanding their attention, their relationship is grounded in something real and tangible, mutual support and understanding. Their journey together isn't just about surviving the public scrutiny or making it through the tough times. It's about thriving together, building a shared future that's rooted in love, respect, and an unshakable commitment to each other.